Not too shabby. This time around we get evocations and cunning. See, that's a little bit more like it. I'm a huge fan of evocations, for sure. Don't get me wrong, Ash. Is this good enough to throw onto our gloves? That I'm not quite so sure about. Stealth is going to be fairly useless, rather, by the time we get to the whole blasting casting stage of our journey, because we're going to be making so much noise with spells that it doesn't help out too much. But we could throw this on our body armor for the time being. Again, just to get that slight edge over the competition. And let us try out the ring mail and see where that leaves us. Definitely everything that we're currently casting is still good to go, so that's good. Thank you so much, Scottish Ninja, for the Prime. So happy to see you around. Thanks for dropping on by. It's always nice to see people that I know in real life. Thanks for thinking of me. But okie dokie. What do we wish to do here? I think we will throw that curse down. We'll just toss it on the ring mail for the time being here. It's not too bad. Oh, jeez Louise. That is very bad, unfortunately. I'm not really looking to fight Psyche right now. So let's hopefully not wake her up and we can instead make our way around. Maybe feel a little bit safer with our lives here. Oh, and there's a Sith Moon altar. We were looking for you earlier, friend. It's a shame we don't see you till now. But how do we do against a bunch of Ufetibuses, hey? Apparently not too bad. Then we just need to take care of this son of a bun with a bit of a sketchy iron shot, but not the end of the world, as we get Summon Ice Beast. Now that's another good way to take care of some of our ice-resistant enemies, because we can just overwhelm them with sheer force. Sure, they're taking slightly less damage, but just keep throwing Ice Beast at the problem until it goes away. Usually not too bad of a plan here. So maybe we'll train just a little bit of summonings to get that castable. Let's see where that leaves us. Jeez Louise. That is a terrifying area. Cold resistant wights, a troll, and Maggie, who's potentially going to mesmerize us. No thank you. Gosh darn it, you son of a gun. So, let's read teleport right away here. Armor up. Okay. And we're safe for the moment here. Turns out this is a terrifying floor. I don't even know what to do here. Definitely need to stay away from those bad boys, and they're not even too far here. Oh geez, let's definitely take off Caps Lock before that gets me into trouble. But yeah, Maggie alone, I'm not too interested in fighting at the moment here. I guess we can potentially try and sneak around here to another downstairs. It's always the issue you run into when you're doing this level skipping strategy though. If you're coming across a lot of scary enemies, then you're going to keep just skipping down, skipping down, skipping down. And it's not going to get any easier generally. But on the flip side, this is an incredible shop. Specifically, this ring mail +2. Nothing to write home about. But Evocable Blink and a beautiful suite of resistances here. Always nice to have a bit of positive energy going on. That's definitely worth swapping off what we have going for us here. So we could break our chains, get rid of this, swap that bad boy over. And I think we will do so right away. This would even help us against Maggie, since it does give us that nice pip of fire resistance. So it's time to break the chain. Sorry, Florence and the Machine, just had to be done. And let us immediately put on this bad boy, shall we? Not too shabby. And I'm back to my question of, do I want to just leave the area? If Maggie's wandering around and we run into them again, probably not going to be the happiest camper. If we had Summon Ice Beast up and running, then we'd at least have some ability to you know, run away if things did go poorly. I guess mesmerize being a potential issue that runs in spite of that. Let's try it out as we get a Bailey. Okay, so we'll definitely read magic mapping right away. It's not quite as necessary with someone like Ash, because fortunately you get shown the way to all these little gates, but still makes life a little bit easier. We'll probably still have enough of them by the time we get to Zot to map out that entire area, so not too worried. Let's see, what kind of Bailey do we get today? I think this one is actually pretty much ideal for us as a Frozen Ramparts user rather. That's not too shabby at all. Hello, friend. Goodbye, friend. Halberd of Draining. You did your best. This time around, let's actually wait, I guess, between fights. I just keep running on the next. Again. But that's much better. And I'm guessing one of these doors is going to be a terrifying foe, and that's kind of the usual gimmick behind this Bailey, because I haven't actually seen this Bailey before, surprisingly enough. I feel like I pretty much always get the same horrendous ones. But fortunately, because we have Ash, we're able to see the threat level of enemies before we open up the doors. That might help us avoid the worst of our problems here. These semi-sketchy gnolls aside, I guess. Halberd of Electrocution, interesting. So yeah, who else have we got waiting for us? I guess we've woken up this whole area now, so never mind the whole potentially just stay safe plan. But we can just freeze you from afar. And so who needs to stay safe? And would you look at that 5 haste potions? 2 brilliance, cancellation and a resistance? DCSS, you shouldn't have. Is it my birthday? Holy moly, me oh my. We're almost getting to the point of luck where I'm becoming concerned that we're completely cursing ourselves, but definitely not the end of the world. Do I want any of these? Maybe a +2 Halberd of Electrocution in case we go with a full no shield two-handed polearm approach. Again, polearms are really nice for Frozen Ramparts in particular, but not super likely we'll do that. I agree with Alphon for sure. An absolutely incredible finish, really. Can't complain to say the least. But okie dokie. I now have a semi-reasonable dread of any and all centaurs that come our way. Semi-reasonable because by this stage we should be fine with dealing with the majority of them, but I'm still worried that we might have some trouble. So this is maybe not a real centaur warrior. I feel like that might be a shapeshifter because this hog is here too, and that's a weird combination of enemies. Still not exactly ideal. This is not who I was hoping to come across here specifically. I learned some nice beast yet? 14%. It's not horrible. Definitely not ideal either. Just armor up. Oh geez, that is quite bad. I'm gonna read teleportation. Oh me oh my. Do I try and kill this ugly thing against my better judgment? They can deal up to 26 damage with our resistance to electricity, and would you look at that? We have exactly 26 health. Isn't that a fun little thing? Let's just get the heck out of there. As long as the dungeon sees fit to stop throwing the absolutely most nasty enemies they possibly can at us, then there's a chance we can still recover here. Yeah, are you real? I don't think you're real. You still don't have a bow. Oh, never mind. You are real. What the heck is even that? Centaur Warrior D9 is terrifying, to say the least. Oh my gosh, and that's not much better. Don't do well against a freezing wraith, of course. Immune to our one valid source of damage. So, try to cast Ice Feast and fail. There we go. We can instead just let that bad boy do a little bit of the fighting for us. Maybe just try and rinse and repeat. Oops, that was a bad order there. I was trying to get this backline character getting hurt by our frozen ramparts. It's definitely a wee bit terrifying to say the least here. Might have to teleport out of here one more time, but for now, let's switch over to Acid. Do a couple blasts to get both of these bad boys, and then we could even just do Flame Wand potentially. In fact, let's just quiver that bad boy and make my life a little bit easier. Jeez Louise. Oh, I'm slow. Oh no, that's bad. That is very bad, so we're gonna have to use a blink, I feel. Followed by yet another teleport. Get us the heck out of dodge. This is not a good floor for us, my friends. Okay. Still not quite as terrifying as situations that we put ourselves into with Peter, but it's getting there. You're definitely living up to the family name there, Viago. Is this just going to be the pattern for all the vampires that we play? At least this will be almost definitely the last vampire we have to play, and we're definitely going to win, no problem, so that's nice. And also, big shout out to Ash and Zari for letting us know that there was a terrifying enemy just around the corner there. We will immediately hightail it the other direction. And do I keep skipping down? Potentially putting ourselves in a wee bit of a rough spot by doing this too often, as we kind of briefly mentioned before. I also didn't realize that we get offered a new curse here. Beguiling again in evocations. I mean, the evocation side of it is good. I don't need that much beguiling, though. Ash and Zari, if you could give me something a little bit more my speed, that would be greatly appreciated. Like, elements or something like that is always nice. Even introspection. Actually, I think introspection is probably one of my favorites. Having the bonus to fighting and spellcasting just has a lot of brilliant knock-on effects down the road. So what could I curse? I guess we can just quickly check by doing this. It's just our gloves or our ring mail. Both of which are things we probably want to keep around for a decent bit here. They're wonderful items. That better be a vault that I don't have to enter. If I'm already up against Tengu, then we are definitely in trouble with all the levels that we've been forced to skip thus far. But hey, maybe, just maybe, we'll be okay. Let's enable at least one skill. Definitely will. I think we will train a bit of evocations, at least get Evocable Blink to a fully castable rate. Turn fighting back on as well. Get that health ticking up. And not pole arms, but instead armor. There we go. Might as well train a wee bit more armor, and maybe dodging as well while we're at it. We're kind of all over the place, but it's not too bad. I guess the other thing that we really should consider once again here is if we want to potentially train a little bit of fire magic. Because again, that could be quite nice. Ooh, an early Fustabalis, if we want to switch over to that. Definitely not against it. We confirm that that is a vault that we don't have to fight through, so that's fantastic as well. And Yax is where Frozen Ramparts Ozukubu's combo is going to well and truly shine. In fact, let's just pop back in this corridor to play it as safe as we possibly can. We can probably take out all of the Yak Pack without too much issue. Not too shabby. Oh, and hello. More friends. This time I have to walk a little bit into the unknown, which is never a great thing in this game. It's generally something you want to avoid at all costs, but we do it right there. As we get Beguiling again. Is Ashen'Zari trying to tell me something? I feel like they're trying to tell me something. Summonings and necromancy, we're probably not going to be using any necromancy this game. Summonings, I guess, helps a little bit. Like, where was Ice Beast sitting at the end here? 9%? So it's not horrible. And I guess Polar Vortex, I think, is an Ice Magic Conjuration duo. No, or is that just... Maybe that's just Firestorm now that I think about it. So I'm not going to worry too much about it for now. We'll hope that eventually Ashen'Zari will get on the same page as us here. And we'll get a wonderful enchantment to throw in our current set here. Hello, friends. Alright, we'll take you to the hallway if no walls are available for Frozen Ramparts down there. Perfect. And rematch against a troll. This time I think we're in a much better position to take them down. In fact, do we want to go back up to that other floor now? Who was with the troll? It was a unique. Dang, I'm blanking at the moment. Completely. Well and truly blanking. Well, go here. Hop our way down. Hello, orcs. Didn't see you around here last time, but thank you for the heal wounds potion. That's definitely well and truly appreciated on my part. Did I accidentally kill the orc? Oh no, they just stood on top of the fire grate. Rip. Sorry, buddy. You tried. It's okay. This floor... Oh, right, it was Maggie. So this is the right one. We have fire resistance. We might be able to take you now, Maggie. Though I'm still a wee bit scared. Let's try it out. Hopefully the troll and Maggie have kind of gone different directions in life, and that will definitely make it easier to take out the both of them. Perfect. Only Maggie saw us. The white did not. You know what? Yes, we'll sick a couple of these bad boys at them. Cannot move away from Maggie, of course. But just throw up our full complement here and no problems whatsoever. Early Swamp Dragon is always kind of nice. Get that guaranteed poison resistance. Not too shabby. You can do it, Ice Beast. I believe in you. Heck yeah, brother. Incredible work. How resistant are you kids? Just very resistant? That's not too bad. At least there is a shot, especially between my Ice Beast and something like Frozen Ramparts. Can combo down these whites. And that means that we can go up a few more floors. And we can continue this trend of kind of finally getting back to clear up all these places we had to skip. You know, that is a lovely book. We have evocable Blink, so maybe we don't need to learn Blink. But this brings us back to the potential Manifold Assault plan for later. And that's always a lot of fun, a heck of a time. Something to keep in mind at the very least. How dare you smite me, you son of a gun. But there we go. Not too shabby. We get Cunning and Evocations. I could take this. Again, I'm a huge Evo fan. And I always struggle to train my defensive skills enough. Dodging isn't too bad. It's streaky, so it's not something you necessarily want to rely on too much at the end of the day. But it has its benefits. I guess stealth is in a similar boat. Like, our stealth isn't very good because we're in relatively heavy armor for a stealth character. That's not the end of the world. It'd be nice if I could pick up a crappy cloak or pair of boots. If I missed anything, no cloak, no boots. Then I'm gonna hold out for a hero, I think, for the moment here. Do I think I could take Psychic at all? Only has 40 health, which is good. It's mostly the chaos that is the real issue there. And Dagger of Distortion. You know, the whole potentiality of being banished to the abyss, never exactly ideal. And this was where the white pack was, so let's go about finishing this floor if we can here. Hello, friends. Not too shabby. Fortunately, Sphere Buddy here is not exactly in an ideal spot for us to deal with them. At least our Ice Beast is doing some of the hard work, and then I'm gonna have to run just a wee bit. Play it safe here. Maybe try and kill this white real quick, not too bad. Then we can just plop down here, maybe head to a different stair. Oh, that's not that different of a stair. We'll be fine. What's your Great Axe doing here? +3 Battle Axe? Ooh. Every time you learn Blink, you end up accidentally casting it at the worst time. Forget it when you should actually use it. I definitely resonate with that, Eggly. I'm sorry to admit that I am by and large in the same boat. It's one of those spells that I try and keep off my macro keys just because it's far too easy to accidentally blast it off when it's not your best, in your best interest, I guess I should say. Of course, Frozen Ramparts ends just when our enemies finally actually notice us, but that should be fine. Not too worried about a couple of iguanas. There's a scorpion in here, I think, too. Hello, friend. Goodbye. And there we go. It's nice to be able to go through these earlier levels and just quickly clean it up. Even the Steam Dragon, now that we have fire resistance, is a heck of a lot more manageable. And where did we leave Sigmund? That was up on D4. Oh, with Natasha, who we definitely would like to not have to murder in cold blood. It's usually the goal. Where are you, Sigmund? Tasha was there. Sigmund was all the way over here. Holy moly. Probably gonna run into Natasha just trying to get to you. You know, I was afraid that might be the case, and lo and behold. So, you know, we won't worry too much about killing Sigmund. It's not a huge amount of experience. It's definitely a boost, don't get me wrong, but I think we'll actually be okay for the most part. And okie dokie. So we don't want to fight a couple of different enemies on this floor, so let's just plop our way down if possible. Perfect. And we'll just keep it moving here. Vorpal? Okay, so we could always change the brand on our current sword or any others in the future. Let's throw a quick exclusion on Snorg, because I don't exactly want to face off against a berserker at the moment. That is slightly less than ideal, shall we say. But at least Grum dies nicely to Frozen Ramparts. You know what? Fine. If Snorg wants it, Snorg can have it. Gosh darn it. Ice Beast. Now's not the time. I think I'm gonna go Potion of Haste. Then we can at least keep up with Snorg here. But geez, Bite for 20 and Claw twice. Well, Berserk, that is terrifying. But we are the same speed now. Dang it. Weavern is bad. What do I wish to do here? I was trying to just waste a little bit of time while we wait for the Berserk stats to wear off here. We could... I don't want to just Berserk back. I don't think that's the right call, even though it's always tempting just for the fun of it. I do have Blink if we need it. I'd kind of like to teleport, but even a single turn is a bit much right now. Next to the Insatiable over here. Could just heal up. Then need to run this way. Hopefully your Berserk lasts less time than my speed does. Perfect. That's not too shabby. There we go. Much better. You know, I haven't tried asking Storing about their feelings. That is probably a better way to get rid of the anger. Waiting it out, sure, you can wait for it to blow over, but at the end of the day, it might be more constructive at the very least. I think you're onto something there. Definitely pick up early Lig. And you, friend. Oh, you're a wolf spider? Jeez Louise. That is terrifying. Holy cow. Why, game? Why are you doing this to me? What did I ever do to you? Well, I think we're gonna have to read our last blink scroll. As much as I hate to admit it. Can I get to the stairs? I think we get to the stairs before you catch up with us, but jeez. Definitely need at the very least cold resistance, but even with that, that is a nasty encounter to say the least. Let's maybe swap over to the mines real quick. See if we can't at least make a wee bit of progress without getting into too much danger. Maybe this is somewhere a little bit more consistent for us. What else could I do? I guess I should maybe learn Ice Form. That most likely gives us some cold resistance. We already have 1 pip of fire resistance, even though we might lose that when we go Ice Form, so we might be fire vulnerable for reals. But it would give us a chance. Potentially, against that wolf spider. Still not a fight I want to pursue. But it's something. So let's learn that. I also should have potentially tried to use Evocable Blink early on in that encounter. That might have been a little bit safer now that I think about it. Or not safer, but just a little better for keeping our blinking scrolls around for the next big issue that comes our way. But I'm sure we'll be fine. When have we ever had any trouble? Has a Van Helsing? No way. So let's just focus down transmutations. We'll bring it up to 4 and see where that leaves us. It at least isn't too hard to train on a vampire, so that's always nice. Throw out some ramparts, take care of all these buddies real quick. That's not too bad. Don't like you with a polearm, my friend, but should be okay. We've taken care of a decent number of orc warriors by this stage. You always have to be slightly careful that it's not just one of those cases of you got lucky with all the earlier rolls. Because it's definitely burned us before in that regard. But hey, we seem to be doing just fine here, at least for Orc 1. Ooh, and an Orc Warrior, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe if we can get our Ice Beast between the two of us and make sure we have that nice buffer while continually dealing damage with Frozen Ramparts. It's not horrible. At the very least, we'd want to take care of the Orc Knight alone, if possible. So there we go. They roar, which we do not want. Probably don't want to head to the stairs. I guess we could bring them upstairs, though, if things start to look a wee bit rough. And or if more friends come along for the journey. I was hoping we could make this a bit more of a private event, friend, if that's cool with you. And that just might do it. Perfect. So let's see, we had a warg, we had at least one regular orc, and there was an orc warrior as well. Let's wait out a few turns just to make sure that that might has worn off, and then we should be okay to come in and do some good work here. Warrior's a bit of a pain for staying outside of our Frozen Ramparts, but there we go. Just lay down some quick hurt, get all those poison stacks up, and we seem to be doing okay. And back on the road we go. What do we find here? There is a Book of Winter. Unfortunately not what I was hoping for. Metabolic Glaciation, maybe not horrible. We have some extra hexes skill from Ashinzari right now, but not exactly ideal. Armaments, if we ever want Lahudiv's Crystal Spear, that's huge. Manual Polearms, I don't know if we'll end up using. What else do we have? Ooh, Freezing Cloud. Now that is a spell. So the Trismegistus? Trismegistus? Not sure how that word is pronounced or what it means or if it's completely made up. Honestly, you've got me on the back foot game. But Freezing Cloud is exactly what we're hoping for in life. So much so that I think I will just immediately buy this son of a gun. And how close are we to learning that? 71%, a long ways off is the answer. But I could cap fighting off at 7 instead. Transmutations is almost there. Armor and dodging are all at their caps that we set for them. I think it's try like 3. Oh, that would make sense. So then, do we still have it anywhere listed here? So it'd be Trismegistus? Trismegistus? No matter how I say it, it seems wrong. So I'm gonna assume that I am just saying it wrong, but that's all good. We tried our best at the end of the day. I'm also surprised that we so far only have a single ring of flight. So hopefully we can find a jewelry shop or something. That would be nice. But more importantly here, let us train a decent amount of air magic, because we're going to be trying to train as little conjurations as we can while still getting everything fully castable. You can give that a shot at the very least. So let's attempt to finish off the rest of the area here. Paralysis might be worth buying. Quick 4 charges, it's not horrible. Definitely break through. Perfect. Tend to have ways you pronounce things in your head that don't actually reflect how words work. 100%. I feel the same way. Especially, I think I've mentioned in the past, but it's always worth mentioning again, that I feel like if you're somebody who reads a decent amount, there are so many words that your brain thinks you know how to pronounce because, you know, it's come up in books dozens, if not hundreds of times. You know exactly what it means, and you've heard characters say it plenty of times before, but then it's totally different once you actually start to try and say it out loud, and you realize, like, turns out my brain is just kind of broken when I actually try and say this. But not too bad. Oh my gosh, we failed to cast Ice Beast twice in a row, which is not exactly ideal. Let's send you in real quick, my friend. And not too shabby. Definitely the case. You always thought Arai was pronounced like Ori? For sure, yeah. That's a great example. I always like to point to my brother as a perfect example of that, because he reads a ridiculous amount just because of the speed that he can read through things. And he's incredibly intelligent, way smarter than I am. But he gets tripped up on words all the time because of that kind of entire phenomenon. Let us use some digging just to get in here and see what this shop has in store. A pair of embroidered gloves is not that good. Got excited for a moment. And bloodstained plate armor, I don't think will ever be quite strong enough to pull off plate armor in casting. We'd have to throw some points in the direction of strength, which I'm not really wanting to do here. So unfortunately, not really worth the time of day there. But okay, what do we wish to do next? Let's block this stair off before I make some bad decisions in life. And at least now, if we run into the simulacrum, we have ice form. So that's something at the very least. In fact, if we go to ice form, let's run upstairs. Where does that leave us? We have 3 pips of cold resistance, and we get that that nice amount of poison resistance. So we can potentially make that work, if need be. Hello, my yak friend. And now we've called a heck of a lot of attention to ourselves. There's one more stairway, right? Let's try that real quick. Nergal? Oh, me oh my. You're not who I wanted to see here. Especially since I am relatively close to our ice simulacrum friend, which is not exactly ideal. So what do we wish to do? I could try throwing out Zom's chess piece real quick, and if we get something really good, then we can potentially roll with that. I'm scared for sure. Let's try it out. We give you might. Let's try it out again. Nothing. One more time. We confuse the simulacrum. Okay. Twists and deform. So we've gotten rid of your AC. Let's throw my own summon out there. And what do we do this time around? Nergal flickers and vanishes for a moment. So now they're invisible and my Ice Beast won't be able to help out. Well, I guess we're back here. Shouldn't be too bad. If I go into Ice Form one more time. It's not good for AC, unfortunately. Brings us down to 9 armor class, so it's definitely better for us to just go through in our own corporeal form here. It's not horrible. At least only 2 of you will be able to hit me when I'm in this corner. It's a wee bit rough for sure, but there we go. Not too shabby. And did I just see transmutations just hit the next level there? Ice form's at 9%, which is probably good enough for me for the time being here. Definitely take our new Wyvern friend upstairs. No need to push our limits against multiple enemies here. Do I just try to avoid this whole area for now, potentially? One of those, one of those, one of these. Hey, we at least get our entrance to Lair. You know what? Maybe I do try and fight you. So we go down to 9 AC. Then we can Ozakuba's armor. Jeez. Most of the extra damage comes from the cold. So that's definitely far and away the worst part of this fight. But it's no picnic one way or another, unfortunately. Let's go Ice Form. Let's bring out a friend of our own. And let's start with some acid. And then potentially just use the Wand of Flame to finish you off. There we go. Hello, my Spectral Orc Knight. I'm just gonna leave for now. Might as well play it safe. And I guess now we can pretty much just get rid of all of the exclusions we had going. Because turns out all of our enemies that we were afraid of decided to move to different sections of the level anyway. So, a lot of good that did us. See if we could face you in our own time without all your summons around. Oh gosh, that's not good. Do I want to read early teleport? Vampire Mosquito's kind of ruining my entire plan here. Could potentially haste and try and fight through this. How terrifying are you kids? 12 damage plus, 20 damage plus. Draining life, that is. Unfortunately... Oh no, we do have 1 pip of negative resistance, so that's at least okay. We do 13 damage, also draining. Bit of a pattern here, I'm beginning to sense. Oh, geez Louise. You know what, we have a lot of haste. Let's go a little bit wild here. Can always start to to run away or teleport out of here if things go too poorly. But we're really racking up the poison on Nergal, and then I can start running away, and perfect. Okay, well, it turns out that very lovely boon of getting a ridiculous number of haste potions early on is definitely paying dividends in the long term here. Manticore is pretty sketchy. Well, I'm glad I'm almost done this floor, because it's less than ideal, shall we say. I think that's fair to say. We get melee combat and evocations. Again, it's not exactly everything I was looking for in life. I could temporarily take this and just throw it on the flight ring, because we'll probably end up just wanting to break that, or at the very least toss it on the ground later in the game. Anywho. Make us a little bit better with our current short sword. And evocations is always nice. Let's do it. This ring is kind of garbage anyway. Hello, my very much not unseen horror. Nice to meet ya. But I think we should be just about ready for Lair. As long as we get lucky and it's not too forested of a region, we have a decent number of walls, which looks good so far. Then at the very least, Ice Elementalist does quite good in Lair in particular. So that is not too shabby. And we've hit air magic where we want it, same with conjurations. I guess ice magic could come back on for now, but where does that leave us on Freezing Cloud? Down to 26%, so it's getting there all right. Let's train ice magic up to like 16, and we'll bring air back into the mix at least a little bit here. And another thing about it, do I want a defensive skill on the line as well? Might be nice to have a shield because it's just another curse slot for us as well. We've probably found some shields over the course of our run already, right? Yeah, there's a kite shield at least for sale, and that's good enough for me. 58 gold is definitely not too much to handle here. Yeah, I think we will bring that to bear moving forward. Komodo Dragon, we should be fine as long as we get that slow, which we very fortunately did. And not too shabby over the rest of our enemies so far. At least we have no 8-headed Hydra on the first area here, so that's always nice. We do get our first element choice here, which I desperately want. Ranged combat? And Eggly, yeah, you called it completely. Well done. Do I want to take this with the ranged? I guess throwing never hurts. If we have like a nice stack of javelins, it might be nice to have something with penetration. Because elements is just so good. Regardless, we can throw this on our boots. Can save our really good equipment still for the time being. But our nice red rubber booties that we got going on here, maybe that can be our middle ground for the moment, just so we get those elemental boosts. It will help out a decent amount with casting. Where should the rest of the rats go? Casting Freezing Cloud, which is good. Hello? Where did all you kids go? I could forget the entire level, I guess, and just re-explore real quick. Hey, there they are. Most of you could stand in the cold, that'd be great. Perfect. I'm guessing that's about it, and in fact, let's just undo that with Control U real quick. So for anybody who hasn't used that before, if you Control F while in the Shift X menu, that's how you forget, and then Control U to undo that. Very handy tool for when you're as lazy as I am. But alright, we're very happy to have that elemental boost sent our way, of course. We should be able to make our way through the rest of the area here without too much trouble. Finally getting our second ring of the run as well. Ooh, don't exactly need protection from fire at the moment. It's one of the few things that we actually have already, but never hurts either. And you, friend, should I be scared against the early siren? We're immune to siren song. How about that? Why? Trying to think of what that would be, because we can be mesmerized, funnily enough. But that's handy. Potentially could make all the difference in the future. Let's see, do you lose to an ice beast? Not quite, unfortunately. But it wasn't bad, you did your best. Could swap over to a Trident of Protection. That's not a terrible option for us here. Full Arm's always lovely with Frozen Ramparts. Makes life a heck of a lot easier.